Hello and welcome to AntipoDnD, a show in which a bunch of Australians talk about, well, the weather and Zelda apparently, but they also play Dungeons and Dragons in a setting partly inspired by prehistoric Australia and New Zealand. I am David, I am the Dungeon Master, and I'm joined as ever by Kynwin, Doug, April, and Zinthings, or Zindy. And, well, let's recap last week. Our heroes having made their way into the FeyWild. Well, let's recap a bit further, actually. Our heroes originally travelled from the continent of Gaur to the far side of the world, a land called the Wandering Isles, where they ended up setting up base at a city called Providence. They thought that this was going to be the biggest change in their lives. Much has happened since then, and now while in the city of Providence, they have found their way through a portal, which means that by walking a very short distance, they've travelled to a land even stranger than the one that they found by travelling to the far side of the world. They are in the FeyWild, a place of magic and fairies, with all of the beauty and potential horror that involves. So after exploring this area for a short time, looking for some citizens of Providence who had wandered this way and become lost, they fought a very hungry tree and they met a wood elf alchemist who was doing some foraging in the forest, who guided them to an extremely large tree called Rathkrunen, which is also the name of the community that lives inside the tree and on its upper boughs. And I was in a bit of a rush to get to a big, story point last week. So what I should have done is explain that once our heroes used pixie dust to fly up to the upper levels of this tree, they were then granted this stunning view of the Feywild, and they can get a much better idea of the layout. So you have all of these incredible trees, really tall trees stretched out, much larger than any that you've seen back in the material plane, but back on the world of Valdra. But you can also see just in the distance the glittering crystalline eruption that you emerge through, and you know that somewhere in there is the portal to Valdra. Off to the side, to, let's call it the east, because it's a bit hard to understand what directions are when the sun is constantly on the horizon. To the east there is a cliff-like wall, or a wall-like cliff that stretches around and actually curves towards Rathkrunen itself. Almost have all of you seen, or are you aware of the Giant's Causeway in Ireland?
Yes.
Yeah. So basalt rocks, basalt cliffs. So you have these columns of roughly hexagonal shapes that seem almost sci-fi in their appearance, except here in the Feywild, they are
all hexes.
Yeah, here in the Feywild, they are even larger and grander than what you might find in a more normal planet. And you can see that the forest is partly creeping up these basalt cliffs, and you can see that there's a lot of green and trees has overgrown it as well. And then far to the distance, off to the north, it's hard to see because of the dim light, and it does get a bit hazy out there, but you can see what appears to be swampland, lots of water, and a handful of trees. But also to the east and to the south, so beyond Rathkrunen and beyond the basalt cliff, there is the ocean. And I will actually get just Orsi to give me intelligence or survival.
Going to be a intelligence check. Thank you very much.
Cool.
22.
Cool. You've seen Providence from the air, and as you're looking around at the layout of where you are now, you can see a certain correlation between the geography of Providence and its surrounds and the geography of Rathcrunan and its surrounds. In fact, you think the crystalline eruption is not far from the crater that appeared when Desmina summoned the creature that defended the city of Providence. And if so, and assuming the sun is sort of in the west, then the tree of Rathcrunan is roughly where the Panopticon stood or stands, or there's not much of it left now, but
partially remains where it partially remains.
where it partially remains. And the cliff face in part actually reflects the eastern defensive seawall of the city of Providence. Though with this kind of thing, it's always very hard to tell the relationship between correlation and causation, especially when time is so strange in the FeyWild. How do you determine, which came first? But there is a definite connection between the world of Valdra and what happens in the FeyWild. So, having climbed or been flown to the bowels of Rathcrunan, you then met with Lord Lucannon, a winter Eladrin Fey elf, who spoke a bit about the fact that one of the individuals that you're pursuing is a cleric of Desmina, but is actually currently being held for poisoning the Lord's sister, another Eladrin, the Lady of Rathcrunan. This struck you all as something of a surprise and out of character for the individual, so you asked to see him and to determine whether you were talking about the same individual. So he sent the Knight Commander of the Rathcrunan Guard, a bullywog, a humanoid frog, who I did not properly describe last week, so I will fill in that all of the bullywogs that you see in this tree are coloured like corroboree frogs. So they're black and yellow with sort of yellow stripes and bands and blotches around their face.
I
I love them.
And so, yes, this Knight Commander, whose name you don't know at the moment, escorted you to another bough where you were shown to a little knot in the limb, which a dryad with the same rainbow bark as the tree that you're in opened, parted an entrance to this knot, and you saw an individual who very much looks like Hurden Silverfin, cleric of Desmina. But on seeing you, he immediately greeted you as friends. He certainly seemed to recognize you, but also seemed to invite you to finish the work help him finish the work that he had started, as if you are somehow accomplices in this act that has had him imprisoned in the first place. So that rather lengthy recap, I do apologize for talking so much, is where we finished last episode. So this has just happened. What do you do?
All right, so Morzod immediately turns to Orsi after having approached and been like, sup fella, and getting that, haha, yes, my evil friends, let's do more evil. So he turns to Orsi and he goes, Orsi, I'm confused.
Was Erica's?
I am going to slap Silverfin and say, that is for leaving home without telling me where you were going. And then I'm going to grab him by either side of the head, passionately kiss him, let him go, and say, that is for staying alive long enough for us to come and rescue you. Now, why don't you tell your beloved Emmanuel exactly what's going on?
Nice grift. What kind of tech is that, DM?
Damn, I wish I'd let you do this at the end of the last episode, because I've got to think about what happens next now.
Roll for passion.
I remember Vitericus is the last person to speak. I'm pretty sure that's what he was about to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I should have let him finish.
And you're like, I'll stop you
That's the new
there.
rule.
That's right.
Always let Vitericus
Yeah,
finish.
let Doug speak.
Never going to be that good again, just quietly. But, yeah.
Magmar's gonna cock an eyebrow and say nothing.
Okay.
Morzod looks even more confused.
He's just gonna nod.
Yeah. So this is going to be. I think it's a deception check from Vatericus, please.
Wonderful.
His
Who's
favorite kind.
who's watching us? Is it just the bullywog? The bullywog?
The Bullywug's there and the Dryad's there.
The dryad.
Yeah, there's the Dryad, the Bullywug Knight Commander who escorted you up, and there are two more Bullywugs of lower station standing on either side of the prison.
Couple frogs and a tree girl.
And a dog, apparently. So that's a 19, unless I have advantage, because being a manual is technically me pretending to be someone else.
No, I don't think that's what's... I don't think you're really leveraging that to try and sell this.
That's
Okay.
fair. 19 it is, then.
Okay. The...
Do you need a minute?
Okay.
Brief intermission.
I need you, Doug, to repeat what Vatericus says while I make sure that this is working in my head.
Of course. So I'm going to slap him across the face and say, that is for leaving home without telling me where you were going. And then I kiss him and say, and that is for staying alive long enough for us to come and find you. And then let him go and say, now, why don't you tell your beloved Emmanuel what's going on here?
Okay. And he says... Vatericus, I don't know what you're playing at, but our work here is not finished.
Wonderful. At which point I will turn on my heel, and say, well, he's got all of Silverfin's memories.
Right.
At least.
Okay. Yeah, let me have a go. Let me try. I will cast Dispel Magic on our friend.
Ooh.
I've been thinking about this
At
all
fourth
week.
level. At fourth level.
Oof.
No.
4th level. Okay. So I think I'm actually going to need you to make a roll for me. Let me just check how this works.
I've been thinking about this all week, and I narrowed it down to 2 things that I think it'd be, and I am just glued to this.
It's a checklist, so we all gotta go.
Yeah. I mean, Morzod is just absolute grinding gears image. He's the spinning beach ball, and that's it.
Can Orsi please make an ability check using your spellcaster ability, which is it's an intelligence check.
Yep. 14.
14. The DC
Pretty good.
equals 10 plus the spell's level. Nothing happens.
Alright, that didn't work. Well, I'm out of ideas.
I don't get it.
Well, I don't know. He's charmed or something, right? I mean, we know Silverfin. He's not like this. Mozo, don't you have anything? Don't you have any kind of cleric magic, truth magic or something? I don't know.
I mean, I could give him a drink, but he looks like our fella. He sounds like our fella, but our fella don't say that.
You sure he's not just crazy?
Can we make an insight check? Does he seem? I mean, other than the obvious, of course, he seems off.
Yeah. You can give me either insight or perception checks.
I'll do perception.
Okay. As you're, trying to visually work out if it's the same person or try and get a sense of why is he behaving like this.
It's a 19 from Orsi.
Can I try and roll on as well?
Yeah, sure.
Morzod is absolutely just...
Yep. Just tell me which one you're.
Yep.
Just tell me which one you're rolling.
So many dogs in the FeyWild.
Right? Perception. Oh no, they'd be thylacines, I'm sure. No, only a 12 for me. Rip.
Okay.
Can I roll insight while I'm kissing him?
No,
What
I
does he taste
think
like?
That's fair.
I think you were probably as distracted as he was at that moment.
Can I roll from my evil, confused glare in the corner?
What are you achieving with this glare?
See if he's
Intimidated by
legit
how
crazy.
angry she looks.
Okay, you can give me an insight roll, please.
Okay. Ooh, it's a natural 20.
Oh,
Ow.
man.
Okay.
Dagmar's so
Dagmar's been
perceptive.
giving him the stank eye because she doesn't
you
like
mean-
anything.
It worked on the
Narrowing
other
your eyes
lady.
at him. It did.
So, Orsi, we'll start with
Yes.
Orsi. With your perception check, as you look at him, something occurs to you. You're used to seeing, you've seen Silverfin, multiple times before now. And he's normally clean shaven, sometimes might have a 5 o'clock shadow by the end of the day. Looking at him now, he is perfectly shaven. There's no sign of any razor or any grooming material inside this prison. Dagmar, you get the distinct impression that when he saw the four of you, there is a moment of surprise, and you saw in his eyes, in his face, a moment of, how am I going to sell this? What am I going to do with this? And then he started, and then he decided to find a way to try and implicate you in whatever scheme he is up to. So he doesn't believe any of what he's saying to you, but he wants you to get in trouble.
He's full of shit. And I'm going to repeat that while looking at the frog.
Very perceptive, Dagmar.
And the frog says, well, that's one way of putting it, but so you're saying that this is the individual that you've come here looking for?
I want to try one more thing real quick. Dagmar, do you have any silver or anything?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Cool. I just want to hold some silver near him.
Okay, I'm going to flick some silver coin over.
Oh, right. Silver coins. I forgot. Look how that works.
That's Dag she won't forget.
Okay.
He loves her shinies.
Hey.
I just want to flick it at him, see what he does.
And he says, payment in full. Oh.
Is he touching it?
Let me do a quick check. He tries to catch it midair, but fails, but then reaches down and picks it up. And is holding it normally.
Books.
It didn't work. Never mind. I'm out of ideas again.
We just proved that he wasn't a werewolf?
Something like that.
Okay. Well, he is a liar, and he's a creep. And I stand by my dislike of this man.
Ozzy, did you... What you was... Oh, wait, just a moment. Not Mozzie here. Were we aware that he was doing Dispel Magic? Is that a thing that we would have noticed? Does he go, Dispel Magic, when it happens?
I don't think he sells Dispel Magic, but he does like hand movements and stuff. He's not hiding it.
Yeah,
Okay.
if Morzod has it, then he'd probably recognize the components, if nothing else.
Oh, yeah, I think he does have that.
It's verbal and somatic, so he would have been
Yeah,
talking and making hand movements.
Okay, yep, cool. So he's checked he's not under some kind of spell?
Yes, exactly. Some sort of charm. I mean, we're in the FeyWilds after all. Fey love charming people.
I'm gonna stand beside Vatericus and report that this guy has been lying since the second he saw us. Actually, no, the second he saw us, he was panicking, and then
he had a holy shit moment. Did you guys all see that?
Yeah. Do you not notice that, or were you too busy planning to kiss this man? Which, whatever you want. I respect your choices, but not your taste.
Dagmar, this is part of pretending to be other people. Acting is an important part of pretending to be somebody else.
Yes, Terex is quite the method actor.
Now,
Kissing people is good for confusing them. I mean,
Okay,
that
well,
makes sense, yeah.
I'm going to try that the next time we go into the arena, but that's it.
seems fair.
Something, snogging no one.
People will write about you. Anyway, look,
Wait. Orsi, did you just cast a spell?
Yeah, why?
Did it work?
I mean, I
Do we have
didn't.
magic?
If he is under a spell, I didn't break it. Of course I have magic. What are you talking about? I'm a wizard.
Vatericus is going to whistle
Mm-hmm.
for a shade. Does anything come?
Yes.
You got weirdo FeyWild shades, remember?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the rainbow ones.
Oh, he's singing again.
Yeah. Is there anything in particular you're trying to get the shade to do?
Immediately, I just want to see if they're going to respond to me.
Yes, a shade does a sort of seahorse-like creature starts floating towards you.
Vitericus is very shocked, but very happy. Like, all right. That being the case, I have one other thing I could potentially try.
Go
And
for
I'm
it.
going to whistle for the seahorse creature to come closer. Stare deeply into Silverfin's eyes again, and then like sharp whistle the seahorse into his head and cast Charm Person.
Okay.
Counter charm the charm. If he is charmed.
Okay, how
Yes.
does Charm Person work?
You attempt to to charm a humanoid you can see within range. Actually, and as I do that, I'm just as I'm about to whistle the seahorse into his head, I'm going to say, "This might hurt a little," and that will count as my unsettling words. So that's a Wisdom saving throw, minus a D8 on the check. So it's only a 1, but subtract 1 from the roll.
Well,
That's okay. He rolled a total of 5.
Perfect.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
That's a nice low roll.
So it's a massive failure. So that makes him your friend, yes? Or that makes you
it
his
is-
friend?
Charmed by me until the spell ends, or my companions do anything harmful to it. Regards me as a friendly acquaintance, and then when the spell ends, it knows it was charmed by me.
Okay. And so there's a moment where he blinks and then sort of looks up at you and says, look, maybe you and I could, not in front of the others.
Of course. And I'm going to usher him over to the corner of the cell, and with the hand that he's sort of not watching, give Dagmar a hold, please.
Okay. How long does this last for, by the way?
1 hour.
1 hour? That's pretty good. And he says, all right, so not sure what you're doing here. Are you working for them as well?
Well, see, that's rather a loaded question. Which them are we talking about? There are several thems in play.
Oh, right. So you might not know the full picture. Well, I'm not sure I'm supposed to tell you everything. But you've probably worked out that I'm not the real Silverfin, yeah?
Indeed, that
Yeah.
was my impression. Although you do seem to have enough knowledge of him and of his past to know who's who.
That's an advantage of the link that we have, you see. When I was made, so I've still got like his thoughts and everything, so I can do what I know, whatever he knew and whatever he knows, and we're just sort of working. Well, I wouldn't say working together. I don't think the real guy really wants to be part of this, but
No, that was our impression as well. That was sort of our first tip-off.
yeah, right. So what are you doing here then?
Well, see, that's rather the problem. We've been sent kind of along similar lines to you. We're here to achieve our objectives.
Right.
And apparently we seem to have some objectives that cross paths with your objectives. And so we might
I
have
see.
an opportunity to work together here.
Well, one thing you can tell me, is the lady dead yet?
Is the lady dead yet? They didn't quite trust us with that information yet. We're still kind of in the dark. You've made a little bit of a mess of this, I'm afraid.
Yeah, well, see, like, I was able to get her trust and do the poison thing, but it's like it didn't kill her. Like, she's, really tough. So I got the impression they've been holding me here until she either recovers or dies, and that'll determine, what they're going to do with
What
me.
happens? Yes.
Yeah, so...
which poison did you use?
Oh, it was the one I was given.
Wonderful. Did you happen to know what kind? Any particular ingredients? Did it smell like anything? Taste like anything? Well, not that you'd taste it, I guess,
Not
right?
much. But they said it has sort of a dual action, like it's not just a regular poison. Like there's a poison and like a something else. But
Okay. Did it need something else to activate that second part? Like, is there something you haven't done yet? that we
No,
could
no,
perhaps-
it's like you just put them both in. You put it in and there's two things working at once. So if you try to just cure the poison, then, you know, the other thing comes in and puts the poison back in again.
Interesting. So I guess, okay, well, that's fine. Now, tell me this at least then, while we're chatting, and just so that I can get a sense that we're working for the same kinds of them, if not the same them precisely.
Yeah, sure.
Is it one of the courts?
No. I mean,
Okay, good.
You should
Excellent.
know that. You should know that.
Well, see, this is the problem, right? As you said, we are relatively new here. We're working through intermediaries, and so I'm making sure that I'm working for the right them before I commit to any sort of action here.
Right. Who are you working for?
Well, I'm not just going to give you that, am I?
Huh. You want to give me a
Unless
clue?
we're at an impasse. Well, I am working for people who are very interested in the goings-on here in... Do we know which court we're in? The Free Court?
The free,
Yes,
yeah, the free court. The court of
yeah,
the
they're
free.
not actually part of the other two.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm working for people who are very interested in what happens here in the Court of the Free.
Look, you know, I really want to trust you, but it's... Look, obviously I can't do much while I'm locked up in here. So what I need from you is to either bust me out somehow, or, you know, maybe even convince them that, you know, you'll take me back to punish me, but then finish the job. Like, or, you know, you can leave me here. It's all right. You know, I know, you know, my life is temporary. That's fine. As long as the job gets done, that's what matters. So,
Of course, which is killing the lady, yes?
Well, I mean, that's
part of it.
That would hopefully, you know, make it happen. But it's not guaranteed.
Is there any intermediate step I can perform to gain your trust here?
Oh,
Prove that I'm here to help you?
You could tell me who we're working for.
Well, see, this is the problem. I don't know if we're working for the same people. That's what I'm trying to suss out. And so if we work together, hopefully we can share a little more information.
Yeah, but if you can't trust me, I can't trust you. And I don't want to. I really do. But
all right. Well, let's change tack a little bit. Where's the real Silverfin? Is he nearby, or is he a bit further out now?
He's not too far. He's not in the tree. Yeah, that would be silly. But yeah, he's back with the one who, well, back where the one who made me. You know, back in their place.
Okay, and is that in the forest, or is that a bit further out?
Oh, I'm not sure I should be telling you this. I don't think they'd want, you know, strangers to come visit.
That's true. That's true. All right. Well, I tell you what. First things first. Let's see if we can get you out of here, and then we'll look at finishing the job.
All right. I appreciate it. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. A pleasure working with you, and I hope that we will soon be engaged in even more fruitful discourse. And I'm going to turn around and look the Knight Commander square in an eye, both eyes, depends on how forward-facing a Bullywog's eyes are.
Pause there, because while you had this conversation, the Knight Commander turned to you, Orsi, and said, I'm a bit confused. Is your friend actually friends with this individual, or is there some magic at play here?
Come on, dude.
The answer to all of those questions is yes, but not what you're thinking. So we do know Silverfin, but I have a sneaking suspicion that if that is Silverfin, he's being charmed, or perhaps it's not. I thought he might have been a changeling, but I don't think he is. I don't even know if changelings are allergic to silver. I threw a coin at him and it didn't do anything. I don't really know anything about changelings.
No, I think we would have noticed a changeling, but then again, it's the most peculiar case, this one. Well,
yeah, the Terracus is a professional interrogator, basically, so we're going to get to the bottom of this, don't worry.
But by my understanding, you're not convinced that this is actually your friend, even though he looks like him.
Yes. And if it is really him, he's under some sort of really powerful charm magic, because if I couldn't dispel it, then who can?
I see. All right. Well, I can't let you be here much longer. We do need to report back to the Lord, but
Absolutely.
looks like your friend might have finished.
Yes, I'm going to spin on my heel, look at the Knight Commander and say, Knight Commander, we must return to Lord Lucannon at once. This is a travesty of justice.
Of course. Of course. Yes. Thank you. He says to the Dryad, who then puts a hand, and the prison closes again. And the Dryad then just sort of dissolves back into the tree.
The dryady things.
The Knight Commander says, very well, come with me, and we shall see that justice is done as best as possible.
About time, too. I'm going to loudly complain about living conditions and treatment of prisoners and all that sort of stuff all the way back up until we're out of earshot.
Not even offered any organic food.
I mean, he was really clean shaven. Did you see that?
Yes, there's a reason for that. We're all good.
You enlighten us.
Well, it's going to ruin the surprise if I tell you before I tell Lord Lucannon.
Okay.
Is that bad?
I don't really want to be a part of the dramatic reveal. I kind of want to know what's going on, but fine.
That's probably fair, actually. Okay, are we out of earshot of the dungeon sort of area, or like the prison area?
Yeah. But the Knight Commander is, he was leading, is now fallen back and is now walking along beside you and is very interested.
Wonderful. All right. In which case,
yeah.
then I might stop the procession a little bit and go, okay, team, here's what's going on. He's some kind of copy, some sort of created double of Silverfin that's telepathically linked to him.
Okay.
That's weird.
Yeah, a little bit odd, hey. But he's here specifically to use a double acting poison that he wasn't quite sure exactly what was happening with, or at least wouldn't tell me exactly what was happening with, which he seems to have done, but it hasn't done everything he wanted it to. So that's where we are.
I knew he was shifty.
Some sort of like a golem or a simulacrum or something.
Yeah. Also, you can give me an intelligence check, please.
Intelligence. That's an ability check, right?
Yeah.
That's a good time for a guidance cantrip. Or not, I'll just
no, I've got one.
No, it's okay.
Actually, this
And
is
I
a
do have
time.
that.
This is a time when an Arcana would check would work also, but
It's okay, I rolled a 20.
Yeah, with a
Oh,
20.
nice.
Hey.
Yep.
Um,
Don't even need the magical Morzon.
yeah, Orsi is aware of the simulacrum spell, so it is possible to create a clone of a person, but normally that clone doesn't need a continual link to the original to operate. So this might be a modified spell. So it's not the textbook example that you'd read in an academy, but you do know that it's magically possible to create a duplicate of someone and then give them instructions.
That's weird. I've read about stuff like this, but it's not like textbook perfect, so someone's playing with magic.
In the FeyWilds, perish the thought.
Oh, who would have thunk?
And it occurs to you all see that you probably, your dispel magic might have failed because the spell that holds this creature together is a higher level. It's very advanced.
Oh, she's not going to admit that. Jeez.
No, he's going to keep that one to himself.
Who do you think we're dealing with here?
Yeah, but good news. Apparently Silverfin is still alive and somewhere nearby.
Okay, well, I mean, I can always send a message to the real Silverfin later. Tomorrow.
Yes.
I need a nap. Sorry.
Yes. Speaking of, how exciting is this? And I'm going to whistle a mage hand into existence.
What's it look like?
Is it disgusting?
I'm in the Feywild, so DM,
Ah,
describe my mage
yeah.
hand.
What kind of horror awaits us? Is it like a little, like, a fairy dog paw or something horrible?
Oh, monkey's fingers.
Blink puppy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome
sure.
person hand.
Oh, no.
It's actually the maw of a blink dog.
Wait, so he's getting random body parts now?
Oh, no, it's getting stronger.
It's whatever
weird.
it's whatever the creature would use to manipulate things. So it's its
Oh,
mouth.
and that's a good point. Well,
But that is purely for flavor. You can't use it to bite people.
No. All good.
Rip.
Look. Magic is happening. I'm going to dispel it, whistle some dancing lights into existence. Look.
So happy that you're gross again.
Was there no magic where you went?
I spent months without magic. It was awful.
Actually, that's the
Ah.
thing.
horrible.
Mozart couldn't access Brunlock. Like, couldn't feel him around while he was on his adventure either, could he?
No, could not.
Yeah.
Yep, there's no god in space.
I had shades, but
mean-
they weren't listening.
That's so strange. A magicless world. How horrible.
But now look.
Oh,
I'm going to whistle
no,
and
so
move some shades
sad.
around. And obviously nobody else can see the shades as I'm whistling and directing them places. But I'm like, this is
You are
so
not helping your image, Vitericus. Please stop.
This is a really nice song. I'm imagining you're like Walter at the end of the Muppets.
You are looking a little bit like a crazy person, so maybe don't.
Yeah.
But as the dancing lights start swirling around, you do attract the attention of some pixies who come and start trying to actually start flying through them like they're hoops, or they're doing a race through flying targets.
Drone race.
Okay, that's adorable.
Aw,
I'll indulge them, set up a little course, move it
yeah,
around a
this
bit.
is cute.
Hmm.
Gonna be like to the blue. He's very excited.
The Knight Commander says, "Well, it seems like we're in the middle of some kind of conspiracy then. This is
Seems that way.
oh dear, this is quite." And you suddenly see a shadow cross his face, as though a horrible thought has just occurred to him. And he looks at you and says, I need to go and speak to my queen about Bullywug matters, but I will take you back to Lord Lucannon first. But yes, let's move. Time is important.
Oh goodness.
Want to
All right, we follow him.
Yeah.
Guess they're going after queens.
Okay,
Yes.
so he leads you back down the bow. You weave around a bit. You eventually come back to the wooden throne that is molded rather than carved out of this tree, and there is Lord Lucannon, looking very pensive. He glances up as you return and says to the Knight Commander, "Well?" And the Knight Commander says, "Well, in short, our guests here did recognize this individual, but claim that he is a copy of their friend and not the original, and that there is some kind of dark magic at work. Now, if I may ask your leave, I must... an urgent matter has come up, and I must have a word with..." This is David checking his notes. "And I must check on... I must have a word with her Royal Highness at once, if that
Is that
is..."
Jack?
Yeah. Is he worried about, like, is it a I'm in trouble thing, or is it a
We're in trouble
thing? Yeah.
Insight from both of you.
25 from Vitericus.
Mm.
Oh, okay. 19.
Cool. There's nothing shifty about him. His nerves are because the solution to your problem, the idea of, a copy has been made, might have suddenly explained a problem that he has, and that he needs to speak to his queen about. And there's almost a sense of embarrassment, as though, oh no, is this the answer to what's been going on all this time? And Lord Lucannon sort of frowns and says, "Oh yes, you may. You have my permission to leave, not Commander Garuganuk." And that's his name, by the way, Garuganuk.
There we go, not asking people's names again.
I mean, I
Very rude.
didn't assume I could speak Froge anyway.
And Garuganuk actually looks up and then just leaps up to a higher branch and disappears from
Jeez.
sight. But there are other Bullywug guards here. For a moment, they actually sort of exchange glances, and you get the impression, wow, He's never just left like that before, but okay.
That is a stressed out frog.
He sure
It's
didn't
not,
look
it's
happy.
not good for them. Not good for their skin.
No. More copies in the tree, perhaps?
Well, I think we should explain ourselves in front of the Lord, and Orsi is going to do a big
Yeah.
elf bow.
And he says, yes, that would be advisable.
Indeed, my lord. Unfortunately, your knight commander has no sense of theatrics, but he does have the heart of it correct, and I'm going to slightly more performatively tell him everything we know.
Does that mean you're trying to weasel a performance check out of your DM?
Not necessarily. I'm just
No,
like
just
giving
fancy.
a court-worthy accounting.
So
Okay.
what's
wise
going
to
on.
it now, David.
I think this is going to be a persuasion check.
Persuasion or performance?
It's persuasion because
Can
you're-
he do it with advantage if Orsi explains the dispel magic and the simulacrum spell?
yes. So that is it.
Okay.
Persuasion. I keep almost saying performance. What is wrong with me?
That would be
It's
great.
gonna get you.
If you could just slip briefly and give me a performance check.
I think Doug is actually a bard.
Maybe.
And he's kind of proven
yeah,
himself.
it's a 19 on the persuasion check.
Okay. As you finish, you see Lord Lucannon looks deeply concerned and he says, why would anyone? This is most troubling. If this is true, then I'm afraid, my friends, you've been pulled into something most cruel. Tell
Well, I
me.
mean, people's was being poisoned. We already figured it wasn't very nice.
Since we do not yet know who the apparent mastermind is behind this, do you have a way of locating your original friend?
Yes and yes. And also, I mean, the spell itself is such a high-level spell. If there's any extremely high-level mages or fey or something that you know of around.
He says, well, I am such,
Of course, my lord.
and the Lady Thunriel is such, but I doubt she would have created a being in order to poison herself.
No.
Of course, her safety, her life must be my first priority.
Of course. But yes, to your original point, I do have ways to locate the original Silverfin.
And thereby perhaps find who is responsible for this, and perhaps find a cure for my sister.
Yes.
Very well. I will send word that you are to be allowed to move around the tree. Understand that you are still considered guests and not citizens here, so your behavior will be monitored. What do you need in order to find your friend?
Bed.
Yes, the rest would be fantastic. And Orsi's
Yes.
just going to flip through his book really quick.
Yes, lodgings would be much appreciated, my lord.
And like some sort of bathing facility, if perhaps you have.
He nods and turns to the dryad, who has actually reappeared at his side before you even came back, and says to her, I believe there are locations on the high branches that would suit them. And she nods and says something in...
Sylvan?
Yeah,
dryad?
which... Do any of you speak Sylvan?
Glow does.
Okay.
So it's a mystery that she'll take to...
Yeah. So the dryad says something in Sylvan. Glow does not show any sign of being bothered by it. It seems to be just chatter. And Lord Buchanan nods and signals to one of the bullywug guards. I just realised I haven't named this poor dryad. What's a good name for a dryad?
Bunnings.
Maple.
It's not an Australian
Yeah.
plant.
Melaleuca.
That's pretty.
Eucalyptus.
I was thinking of autumn. I don't know.
It's not really that kind of tree, though. It should be something associated with her tree. Let's go to fantasy name generators, dryad names.
It's not going to be Australian stuff in there.
Dara?
Let's go with
Ironbark.
Eucalypto. Euca. No.
I mean, that's a kind of tree as well.
Yeah, that's a different one.
Oh, no, I don't want that name. That's silly. Yeah, let's just go with Yucca.
Okay.
E-U-C-A.
Yucca.
Yucca. Yeah, and he says, Yucca will guide you to your lodgings for the night. I'll have, when the Knight Commander returns from whatever it is that is bothering him at this... Oh dear. I think I just figured it out. Well, I'm not really sure whether there's anything that can be done about that now, but never mind. Anyway, when the Knight Commander returns, I'll have him check in with you.
He's just going to leave us hanging.
May I have permission to have a forked twig?
He looks at the dryad, who... you asked that in common, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. And he translates for her, and she immediately sours her face. Goes, looks at you, just stares daggers into you.
This is why I asked, and I didn't just take one.
And Lucannon speaks further, and her face sort of softens a bit, and she relents and actually pulls off a twig that's sticking out of her shoulder. It looks like it was about to fall off anyway.
Okay, the vegan in Aussie's not like super thrilled, but he's going to take it. He's conflicted, but he'll take it.
And she hands it to
thank-
Lord Lucannon,
thank
who
you.
then hands it to you.
Thank you. Wow.
Um,
For my spells, it's a component.
he says, "Yes, I had assumed as much."
Yes.
Oh, she's just a little creepy.
This is twice
We
today
have
he's picked up
beautiful
sticks.
Twigs.
Yeah.
Wigs and
Uh,
eyelashes.
If you
Making a
want,
nest.
you can put in the inventory forked twig from a dryad.
What?
Mm.
I'll do that. Okay, I'm good. I just need to sleep.
Okay. So Yuka the Dryad will lead you towards your place of rest, which is you go past a few other places on the way. You actually glance over to the side and you see one of the other limbs sticking up. You can actually see a number of bullywogs gathered around and talking. You're pretty sure you see Knight Commander Guruganik among them. And he seems to be speaking to this impressively large bullywug in royal gear, very much sort of Queen Elizabeth, look at me, I am the Queen in the most royal manner. And they seem to be holding some kind of court at the moment. And around you can see that this limb actually has areas that have been, again, molded shaped so that they're actually pools of water. And one of them you can actually see lots of little splashing. I think there might be tadpoles in one of them. Very large tadpoles. But eventually you come to your own little alcove, which is in a fork in the trees. Fork in the tree, you've got some leaves overhead, and she gently puts a hand down on the tree and says something in Sylvan, and then a little hut essentially appears. So you have yourselves a wooden hut of rainbow bark, which is, has a wooden floor, but it looks quite comfy anyway. And she, nods respectfully for review and then departs.
Morzod,
Thank
for
you.
what it's worth, while she was doing that, had the most incredibly flattering look of childlike awe on his face. Like if the Dryad had looked at him, she would just be like, wow, this guy is blown away by what's going on here.
And just before she leaves, she gives you a sort of a cheeky smile, Morzod. She enjoys seeing that awe in a lot of people around here take this kind of thing for granted now, you think.
Yeah. Morzod absolutely does not take that for granted. Holy crap.
Right. Shall we? Do we have things we need to do, or do you want to all take a little nap?
I need to sleep. I got
I
hit
have
many
not-
times by that tree and I did not enjoy it.
Yeah, I have not slept properly in a full week.
I'm gonna put the
That's no
dome up
good.
just in case.
Oh man, fancy house in a fancy house.
Yeah, do you remember my bubble, my half bubble?
I like that
missed
thing.
This bubble.
Or is he just gonna sit down for the next 10 minutes and whoop?
Cool. As you do that, as you're preparing to do that, you get the sense that Glow is a little, not nervous per se, but kind of excitable. She wants to go fly around.
Yeah, you can go fly around if you want.
So Glow sort of flies off, and you see her disappear among the leaves, and you get the impression that she just really misses flying in the FeyWild.
I don't know where in the FeyWild she's from, so
yeah,
she seems like she's happy.
Probably nowhere near here, especially since you summoned her on the opposite side of the world, and there's probably some correlation between the other side of the world in Valdra and the other side of the world in the FeyWild, even if it's not a direct relationship.
Cool.
So, if you're going to take a rest, any of you going to keep watch, or are you going to be nice and secure in your dome?
It's up to you lot.
Yeah, dome is fine. I had a quick question about Agatha, my haunted doll.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
Kindman, did you forget about Agatha? Did you forget about Agatha the haunted doll?
Okay, so it records up to 6 phrases, none of which can be more than 6 words long. Does it record in my voice, or does it record in like its own creepy haunted doll voice?
I would assume your voice, unless the spell description says otherwise. Unless the creature description says otherwise.
No. Okay, cool. In that case, then, as we're sort of bedding down, I'm going to pull out Agatha, and Agatha is going to let out like really deep rock-on-rock style grumblings for like 6 separate phrases. And Vitericus is going to get real sad and maudlin as he's listening to them.
Oh.
She got there.
Oh my sweet lord.
Are you okay?
I forgot you had that.
That's weird.
Yeah, she survived surprisingly well given where I have been.
Enchanted dolls are hardy, I hear.
This is true, I guess. That's true. But the porcelain makes me think she'll break easy, but apparently not. Well, so I guess
actually really strong. This is in knowledge.
Well, when we disappeared into the river, I wound up in a place with A, no magic, which was awful, but B, nobody who spoke any language I spoke, which was also awful.
That's
I was about to say there's a spell for that, but I suppose that doesn't matter, does it?
No, correct. That was part of the problem. And I was adopted in the end by a family of giants, which was lovely. But now they're all gone, and I don't know what happened to them.
Oh.
And this
Sorry,
is I'm
dude.
gonna hold Agatha and sort of stare into her like blank porcelain eyes. This is what I have left of them.
Oh,
That's rough.
I'm sorry
I
to
was gonna
hear.
give him a pat.
But listen, you're not where they is, but that doesn't mean that there's that they're gone.
Well,
Or when you say gone, do you mean you have a sense of deep foreboding?
no, we lost Axia somewhere about halfway through the journey. Petilius died, and we put him to rest. And by the end, it was just Cassius and me, and he wasn't in a good way when I went back through that portal.
All right, that's not nice at all.
I think Ozzy's going to sit next to him too and put a hand on his shoulder. I mean, I know what it's like to lose people. It hurts. If you describe them to me, I could draw them for you, if you'd like.
Maybe another day.
Right, the offer's always there.
I've been living with them for months, a month. You know me, I'm bad with long periods of time. Yeah, they're still fresh enough that I can remember them now. And I'm going to sort of tap Agatha's tummy again, and it's going to go through the phrases again.
Hey, they thought you were worth saving. So
That's
at
true.
the very least, I'm thankful to them that they brought you back to us.
I'm
And
curious.
then I forgot
as
I
to-
could use magic and got eaten by a tree. So, you know, I'm off to a good start.
I'm curious
Yeah.
about whether any of you can speak giant.
Nope.
Not without a lot more repeats.
Or, as a cleric, you probably have access to the spell tongues, perhaps. I don't know if you do.
I might do. I think probably.
I can learn
you
it,
Know, you know
but
more
I need
about my
money.
spells than I do. I got.
I don't think clerics
can.
can use it. I'm not 100% sure, but double check. It could be on your list.
Let
But actually,
me on my
Morzord,
notes.
sorry. I am sorry for your loss, Vaterica. It's very sad.
It's all right. They'll, you know, I still have some piece of them. So
Yeah, I do have tongues. 3rd level.
there you go.
Morzord, I wanted to speak to you about something.
Oh, yeah?
Right, so
Not
we're
in
trying to find Silverfin,
private?
yes?
Yeah.
Right. There's a spell maybe you could do called Locate Creature. I have one that can locate objects, but I think you might have Locate Creature.
Oh.
I don't know how cleric god magic works. I have to read and study to learn my spells, but you just get them handed to you on a silver platter.
No, we still had to read them and stuff. I'm actually looking at the list here. I've got Find Object, but I might not have.
It's locate creature is 4th level.
So
It's 4th level!
Yeah, so you
Ah,
don't
okay.
have it quite yet.
No. So clearly Morzod wasn't paying attention that day. Cleric school.
Alright, that's fine. We don't need to worry about that. I have Locate Object as well, and I also have Sending, so I can try and send Silverfin a message. Should we come up with a code?
Oh, and yes, I forgot to mention something. With Orsi's perception check, where you spotted that he was clean shaven, despite not having access to a razor, you would have also noticed that he did not have his hammer on him, his war hammer, nor did he have his amulet on which he has the symbol of Desmina.
Okay.
Now,
So real Silverfin probably has
it's-
those.
possibly, it's also possible that they were taken off him when he was put into prison.
Right. Well, so I have Sending. I can send him a message and he can respond.
Cool.
If he's under duress or being watched by something, should we be like, hey, cough 3 times if whatever, you know?
Cough count as words in Sending.
What was
25?
sure, why not?
That's not a Morzod question. That's like legit.
I mean, it's up to the DM.
Yeah.
Sending is just what Discord picks up, right? That's the.
Yeah, that's it. If you cough and it doesn't pick up, then that doesn't count.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So should we or say blink dog twice if you're fine or something. I don't know. Tarek, you're better at this stuff than I am.
Yeah, I mean, we're assuming he's in a state to be able to reply. He may be unconscious.
Yes, exactly. Right.
Which is going to be a problem. Locate object, perhaps, on his amulet is going to
Perhaps.
be more useful.
It only works within 1,000 feet, though. So
The impression I got was that he wasn't super far.
okay, yeah. If you think that'll work, then I mean, me and Morzor can both do it. Then we could if that doesn't work, try his hammer or whatever, or his chainmail shirt or something. I don't know.
Indeed, we can try it at the base of the tree tomorrow or something, because that will give us a little bit more range, so that we're not sort of having to deal with diagonal distance down.
Right. What other spells do you think we should sort out? So I'm definitely going to sending a locate object. Morzord, you might want to grab locate object too, just in case.
I'll have a think on that.
Dagmar has already fallen asleep against Vitericus's shoulder.
No.
He is most appreciative.
The DM will also mention that the Lady of Rathcrunan is still poisoned, and clerics, I believe, do have ways of dealing with poison, although you get the impression that you need to... removing the poison has been attempted and is not enough. But
yeah, it sounds like it's a bit of a
might need
jank
to be done
situation.
in conjunction with something else.
Yeah. Morzod does not have the intelligence to know this, but perhaps some kind of wisdom can come into that one.
Right, so if
You heard
that's...
someone say it before. No. All good.
Oh, okay.
Alright, well, if that's it, then shall we nod off?
Okay.
Dagmar's already sleeping.
Well, let's take our break then, and as you all bed down, and you can think about the 25 words that you're going to send if you choose to use sending in... I can't call it the morning, because there is no morning. It's just after you've slept. So we will take a short break and be back much sooner than we will actually be back, because I'm going to cut out the bit in between. See you soon.
I'm in trouble.
And we are back from our rest. Our break. I've got rests on the barn because we were just talking about taking long rests. So our players have indeed taken long rests. They'll do a very quick rewind in that about an hour after their conversation with the prisoner. The two bullywug guards standing outside just suddenly hear this apparent clone or simulacrum of Herd and Silverfin just start going, "Oh, fuck. Fuck. Fast forward again. Our heroes have rested and are, I would say they're waking the next morning, except there is no morning here. It is simply about 8 hours later, they think.
If you've slept, it's morning.
Yeah.
If you haven't slept, it's still the same day.
In fact, I would imagine it is very easy to oversleep in the FeyWild. You basically, the night ends when you feel like you're ready to get up. So I will ask, what does that mean for our characters?
Well, Morzod was actually, apart from having been whomped a couple of times, in a pretty good place as far as the rest is concerned. So he probably sprung up and went to see if there was any kind of ale that he could get on for his morning tipple.
He would have found no ale. There is nectar.
He probably wouldn't have ventured very far, though.
Cool.
So sort of an attempt was made.
There is nectar from some impressively large flowers, eucalypts of gum flowers on this tree.
with like especially big wattle birds flying around them, or like...
No, just the fairy wyverns.
Right.
Who they'll eat mistletoe, but they do also like the nectar from these flowers.
Dagmar is asleep until someone kicks her.
I think Orsie's like either in between them or like cuddling the Terracus.
I suspect I wake early, but don't move.
Yeah, because you got a cat on you, and you...
Yeah.
Gonna scratch
Put
you
an
if you
elf
wake them
on
up.
one side and a dwarf on the other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Terracus is in the middle.
Wait
Yeah.
for you guys to wake naturally.
doing that awkward
Means I
thing.
guess
His
I'm
legs...
just here forever now because Dagmar's not going to wake up.
Yeah,
ever.
his legs falling asleep, but he's like, no, this is how I die.
Well,
He's
Orsie
doing
doesn't
some-
usually sleep. He usually just meditates. But I think
Back
he
to Dorsey's having
slept.
a nap. Yeah.
Yeah, he slept this
yeah,
time.
elves can sleep; they just don't necessarily need to.
No, I think he's tired. I think he misses his friends.
Fair. Yeah,
Yeah,
the Terracus
most-
is in a similar headspace, so he's like, this is nice. I'm just going to stay here for a while.
Morzod, for what it's worth, every time he's around everyone, looks like way more thoughtful than he used to. There's just this sort of pause for everything. He's still Morzod-y, but like,
All right.
there's something about him. It's weird.
Orsie's gonna get up, I think. Ugh. Oh, sorry.
Fine, it's fine. I got used. Well, not quite this, but I actually took a note from Glow. I was nuzzled into a giant's neck for most nights.
Oh,
For a run there, so
that's good.
this was
Oh,
nice.
speaking of which, is she around?
Oh yeah, because she went off to have a flight.
Yes. Glow is perched above, on the top of the wooden hut that was molded for you.
Cool.
Uh, So when you have that thought, is Glow about? You see this little face poke down and looked at you through the entrance.
There's my baby girl. All right.
She flies up.
We should probably come on, Dagmar. Get up.
Yes, I'll give you a gentle nudge. I think the day has begun, I'm afraid.
5 more minutes.
Is there a bucket in which I can submerge myself?
Oh yeah,
I did ask
spa
about
would be
bathing.
great, actually.
I haven't bathed in some time. I'm sure you can smell it.
But yeah, we didn't want to say anything.
If you ask around, you'll learn that there are there's a spring near the base of the tree that you can bathe in.
Oh man, is this a Springs episode? Are we having a goddamn Springs episode?
Is it a hot spring or a cold spring?
The alternative is to ask the bullywugs if you can use one of their pools, but they tend to not
baby
allow
pool.
non-amphibians.
I want to bathe with the tadpoles.
Well, it's not just the
Well, they
tadpoles. The
do that.
bullywugs themselves need to stay moist, so they are frequently just jumping into the water and out again.
That sounds lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Spring sounds nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yes. Yes, please.
I don't know where Morzord is. Nectar, drinks, probably.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah,
Assume we catch Morzod on the way down?
you'd step out and find him. He hasn't gone far.
Yep. The pixies. Let me roll. Yep, the pixies are currently flitting about and playing their games, so you're able to catch some fairy dust and float down. Otherwise, you would have had to sort of wake them up or get them excited.
Do the pixies speak common? Have we heard them speaking common?
Yes, they speak common.
Wonderful. As we're sort of moving past, I'll just sort of call out, excuse me, coffee? Is that a thing here?
From the pixies, you say, coffee? Coffee? Who's coffee?
Coffee. Jabba.
Okay, that's fine. All good. We'll wake up naturally then. Thank you.
I don't think it's a good idea if there was coffee here. Can you
Don't-
imagine them drinking it?
Don't mention it.
Fair. And I'll kick off some dancing lights just to entertain them a little bit as we descend.
Ooh, ah,
Zoom.
So you make your way
Phineas
down.
can't help himself. He can perform all the time.
Some of the locals are able to point you towards the spring, where actually, when you get there, you'll find an Ismani, one of the possum folk, is just washing their face when you get there.
Hi, buddy.
pretty mad fucking adorable, but also that's probably racist.
No, it's complimentary.
Right, okay.
So is this like a face washing only spring? What's the cultural zeitgeist here?
Do you say that
What are
aloud?
the vibes?
I think he's wondering that out loud, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll hear that, and Dagmar will call out to the possum friend. Is it okay if we jump in?
His nanny says, "Are you looking to swim or bathe?"
Both?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm about done here.
Hey.
Gives a good shake. Fur goes everywhere. Fluffs up his cheeks, and then it starts to bound off.
Dagmar's just gonna face plant into the water in all her clothes, throwing the hat aside.
Oh
Sploosh.
dear.
Our clothes also need washing.
Mm,
Okay.
It's true.
One of you
Didn't
needs
think we
to
were
get.
coming into the cave for this bloody long.
One of you really needs to get prestidigitation.
Mm.
No,
I
never.
could,
We'll
but
be a dirty
no.
crew forever.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Vitericus will disrobe and hop in the springs.
I do look at create water every time I look at my spells, but I'm like, yeah, but that's not create beer, and thus I don't want it.
Fair.
We need to get you a jug of alchemy.
Mm-hmm.
Classic.
What's he gonna take his shoes off? Just dip his feet in. It's nice.
It's good, hey. Yes. Full Hot Springs episode leaning on a rock somewhere.
Is it hot
Sort of
spring or is it a
up here.
cold spring?
Towel
Did
on
we
your
still-
head.
It's a cold spring, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Well, he's not getting in, no way.
Oh, actually, I have my magic back. I'm going to heat metal a copper and kick it in.
Is that going to be enough for the entire spring?
It's
Is
not.
that going to be good for the tree?
Maybe. It'll heat my.
Is that
it'll
good?
heat our
Yeah, is
silver.
that good for the environment? Is that bad?
Whatever. It's fine.
Put it near you and just huddle.
Yeah, basically.
Mozart,
Just
apart
don't
from
touch it, because
tree-
ow.
Yeah.
No, because red hot.
Yeah, the penny's boiling hot.
Yeah, Mozart, for its worth, was pretty clean apart from tree damage, so that was easy to get off. But he's got a razor and is actually shaving, which you've never seen.
Ooh. Dagmar
Yeah,
is
I
going
need to
to
shave too.
completely scrub herself
Oh.
with sand or whatever is available for scrubbing, and then she will join Morzod.
I'm
And
pretty sure I have some
Stays
soap
in
or something if you want it.
oh yeah, no, I'll take that. Do you have
Yeah,
soap?
okay. Probably.
I will take the soap. And then yes, I will look at Morzod. You are much more clean shaven than you used to be. When I say used to be, I mean very recently for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was I guess just what everyone did where I was at. You know? It was weird for me to be scruffy, so I stopped.
And now you like it?
I'm still doing it because it's one of those things you do it every day, you know?
It's a foreign concept to me, but good for you.
It's weird.
Do you think there's any hot springs around here? We have hot springs back home. Private ones.
Maybe. Who knows? Are there towels kicking
It'll
around?
probably be some kind of weird fairy
Cool.
one full
Vitericus
of
dries himself off with the manta cloak then.
glitter and such.
I'm sorry, what was that, Morzord? Our personal hot springs are full of glitter.
If here in the FeyWilds, wouldn't it be like a weird fairy one?
I mean, we're in a spring, aren't we?
Well, yeah, but if it was a hot one,
I don't know. I've never been to a FeyWild hot spring.
I don't know. I was just guessing.
As
They
you're
had crystal in them, that would be glittery.
having this conversation, a creature emerges from between the trees. It's not a huge creature. It's a bit shorter than, a human. Bird-like. I think it is a bird. It's got, 2 legs, furry, feathery black body, neck, long neck, and a crest, a bony crest on the top.
Oh Jesus, we need to get out of here.
And it's sort of this cassowary. He sort of walks up and sees you all and just says, "Oh, hello.
Hello there, my friend.
You all right if I drink some of your water?"
I don't
Uh,
think you want to be drinking that for a bit. We've
Not
had our butts in
ours,
it.
I'm afraid.
Oh, no. I'm saying you're making use of it, so I just don't want to interrupt. Don't worry about the quality of it. It's, we got a good gut, my lot.
Well,
Okay.
be my guest.
I'm probably done. Are you done? I'm done.
All right.
Let's
I'm
see, we'll
done.
scooch over.
And the cassowary just head down and, does the whole, I can't swallow, so I have to lift the water up and let it run down my throat thing.
Birds, man.
I'm guessing we're all staring as
Mm.
politely as possible.
Trying not to stare. Trying not to stare.
I mean, we have emu experience.
Yeah,
True,
yeah,
true.
kind of similar. And like Morzod wouldn't know that cassowaries are death incarnate. So
I mean, they definitely look like death incarnate.
that's
He
true.
can
They do look
talk.
like,
He's
they
intelligent.
They do
Good,
look like they've
smart
come
enough.
to ruin your day. That is very true.
He
Cool.
seems very
Well,
polite.
while we're hanging out and while I'm shaving off a month's worth of growth, I will have a chat with the cassowary and be like, "So, friend, what's your name? I am Emmanuel."
Ah, good to meet you. I'm Trevor.
Trevor.
Trevor
Lovely to meet you,
Cassowary.
Trevor. Hey,
Beautiful.
Trevor. Do you spend much time out in the forests?
Pretty much where I live.
Wonderful. Hey, we're looking for a friend. You may have seen him. Looks like, well, me, really, human. Carries a hammer and a little symbol around his neck. Seen anyone like that?
Oh, you mean, what's his name? The guy that poisoned the lady up there?
Yeah, but not him.
Yes, but have you seen another him out in the forests?
Another him.
Hmm.
You sure you're all right? Sure this water's all right?
It's
Yeah, it's
complicated.
fine.
It's fine.
It's full of
There's a
soap.
whole thing. Mm-hmm.
No, I only seen the one of him, when he came, a number of sleeps ago now.
So we have heard. Did you see him when he came here or when he arrived in the forest?
Oh, it was when he came here, yeah.
Okay. Wonderful,
Came with that,
wonderful.
that wood elf.
Of course he did. Wonderful. You wouldn't happen to know where that wood elf lives, would you?
Nah, she just drops by every now and again, sells some potions and the like. Yeah,
that is what I've heard.
Thing I've heard her say that, backpack is her home.
I see. Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for all your help, Trevor. Have a lovely day.
Oh, no worries, you too.
Nice young man.
Indeed. He's going places.
Quite literally.
Cool. All right. Well, did we have a spell to cast while we were down here?
Yes, we can. We can do it from the comfort of our own cold spring, if we like. Should we send a message first?
So Trevor has finished his drink and now strides back into the forest.
Right.
You're the wizard. You'll know more than I do here.
I mean, yeah, I can cast a spell, but what are we doing? Are we asking for a code? Cough 3 times if you're under duress? Like, what?
I mean, do you think the words or do you say the words?
You say the words, I believe. I've never actually cast it before. I've had it for a while.
Vinny does know about it.
I just,
It's true. I do have experience with it.
yeah, I just, didn't. You want to send a message, but then it's like, what do you say? So you don't send it, so then you just don't end up doing anything. So here we are.
Yeah, I've left you on red, but it's because I'm. Yeah.
I've never sent a message to anyone ever. So,
Not it, really? Do you mean like a letter or like a spell?
I mean, well, I've never sent any spell, and I didn't have anyone to write to.
You wrote to yourself that one time, remember?
No, Vatericus wrote to me.
Anyway, we are just getting awfully off track.
We are. It's true. Well, what's the range? How far can you send?
Anybody.
Wonderful. Excellent. Well, let's go with that then. Let's try the cough 3 times if you can hear us.
Okay. I feel like that's a little bit of a waste of a spell.
And like, where are you? And all that kind of.
Like, what if it's like, cough? Oh, no. Say something back if you can hear us and everything's fine, but cough several times if you
I see what you're
can't.
saying. Right. Cough if you can't answer, and if you can, then please answer. Where are you?
Just answer.
Tell us where you are.
Right. Okay.
And
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
I got this. I got this.
I
I got
brought
this. I
up
got
a
this.
click counter so I can count your words.
Okay. He's gonna take out.
Mozart absolutely backpats, but
Oh.
like obviously not on the side that he showed us in the revealing episode.
Fine. He'll let it happen.
Yep.
He takes out a little piece of copper wire, holds it between his fingers, and he says, "Hi,
No.
it's Orsi. You remember me? We met in the Panopticon. If you can talk back, can you talk back? If you can't, can you cough?"
That
Too many ums.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
every
Leave him
was a
alone.
word.
Good, we got the point across.
There's a pause, and then you hear definitely heard in Silverfin's voice in your head, and he says, "Oh, help me, please. So thirsty. I'm in this place. There's rocks, cliffs. She's hidden me. I'm chained up. I can't move. That's the entire message.
He answered back.
What do you say?
Oh, he answered back. He's like chained up. He said that she hid him. He said that there was rocks around.
Would it kill someone to use a name?
A first name or a description. I know. Some people are just really bad at this spell, honestly.
Okay, so rocks?
Right. I should message him back and ask him if he has his amulet or an object on him that we can search for, right?
How many times can you do that thing?
Twice more. And then I'm out of third level, spells. So
Unless we take a nap before we go anywhere.
don't even need a nap. Just need a short, just sit down for an hour and I'll be okay. Right. Okay. He said he's very thirsty, so I think time is of the essence. I don't know how long humans can go for without water. I don't think it's very long, considering what happened to our friend in the necklace.
3 minutes.
He
Not
definitely died of
terribly
thirst. Yeah.
yeah, that's what did you mean?
Yeah, grievous injuries.
Right. What am I messaging him back? Am I messaging him back? What are we doing?
Do we need
Could
to?
you be more explicit about
I mean,
anything?
You
Well,
can
'cause-
ask who's she, but he might not know.
Well, I'm going to ask him if he has any objects on him, right? His hammer, his amulet. I need
Yeah.
something to focus on because I've seen those before.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Maybe
go on.
stop using filler words? Like bullet points.
What do you mean?
You could like write it down before you says the thing.
You said a lot.
I
Like
didn't.
3 times.
How dare you? I'm extremely eloquent with my words.
Sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the problem because you say lots of nice words when
No,
you're
I'm
speaking.
sorry. Did you want to do it, Dagmar? Did you want to cast a spell?
I would love to.
Go ahead, please.
I just, you speak a lot, and perhaps you should pare it down. Be a little
No,
more
it's fine.
direct.
Haven't seen you in like 2 weeks and now you're just attacking me out of nowhere. All right, no, I get it. All right, it's fine. Takes another piece of copper wire out. He's going to cast Sending to Silverfin.
As a dungeon master who says a lot, I'm feeling the shade.
So we're in the FeyWild, it's not the Shadowfell. Okay, let's ease up on the shade, please.
Like, it's a text message. You have spending 50 cents for the text message, and you have
Yeah.
25 letters.
He's like a boomer. He puts ellipses. He like does the ... even though he's like happy about something or something.
Listen,
right,
I did that when I was like 12 and had a Nokia
Sending.
3315.
Sending. He's casting Sending again.
Right.
He's casting.
Silverfin! What are you wearing?
Perfect.
Okay.
Is it sexy?
I can locate object. Need details. Who trapped you? Wood elf? And see, the annotation in the end went up there like I was asking a question. See, I can be concise.
That's about 25 words now.
Oh, yeah, he's done.
Perfect.
Please tell me that last bit was
Yes,
good.
the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Absolutely.
That was better. Good job.
The response comes
See,
back.
I can take constructive criticism. Oh,
Wearing nothing but my amulet.
oh.
I can see it. Was taken by old, hideous woman.
She is a hag.
Truly evil. She made a copy of me, and that's 25 words.
Oh my god, so we were right.
About?
A copy. He's not yelling this out, by the way. He's like helping. It was a copy. What? It was something. He said a hag took him.
Yeah, fun. That would
A
make
hideous
sense, I
old
guess.
hag or something. He's wearing his amulet though, so we can locate object. But I need to be within 1,000 feet of it.
Oh.
What did he say last time? Something about rocks.
Rocks. What else did he say?
Are you
That's
okay
April
on
asking.
DM?
Rocks,
That's after us gonna DM.
rocks, cliffs.
Yeah, isn't he over near the giant steps?
It could be.
He's at the edge of the level.
Yeah, where the loading.
We should ask Lord Lucannon about known hags in the area. Local hags in your area. Sorry.
What are you wearing?
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, local hags in your area want to know what you're wearing now.
Yep. Suddenly we're in the ads that had come on after the late night SBS. Call me now.
Swipe
What's the
right.
search history? Okay. Right. So we have all that information.
Cool.
Oh, I bet that bird probably knows about hags in the forest, doesn't he?
Forever.
Is that racist? No.
Mm,
Good.
probably not. I mean, the cannon's got to know, right?
Surely.
Or at least a
Surely he
vague
knows subjects in his court
We should
area.
find that dodgy wood elf who was absolutely 100% dodgy.
Do you think she's a hag?
I think she's a piece of shit who was
Okay.
definitely lying to us about whatever she told us she was yesterday. Like, did you guys not pick up on that either? Like, she was super lying.
Oh, yeah, I was just like super stressed about Visericus getting eaten by a tree.
Alright, that's fair.
I got eaten by a tree.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Okay.
it's-
Well,
I still
yeah.
have dirt in my
she-
ears.
she
Oh,
was-
bad scene.
She was not in any way legit about anything she said to us.
I trust your judgment, because you're a shady character yourself, Dagmar, and I mean that in a nice way.
Thank you.
Right.
Straight back.
Should we go see Lord Lucannon,
Sure, yeah. Yes?
Right.
Yes.
if we can?
Dagmar's just gonna climb out of the pool dripping wet. And that's put it back on the hat.
Visericus, perhaps
what's
you
the
could...
weather like in the Feywild?
Pleasant.
At the moment, it is pleasant. It's like a pleasant autumn's day, cool but not cold.
And one of those crisp ones.
Yeah.
Let's go get a pumpkin spice latte.
Visericus, perhaps you could heat some sort of metal and then put some sort of breeze on it and create some sort of drying effect.
Pulls the goblin grenade out of his pocket.
That could work.
I think we should just go
Would it,
talk
though?
to what's his
Maybe
face.
not. Maybe not that one. Hey.
They'll probably
but what
dry
I
off
do
if we
have.
fly up.
Well, that's true. I was just going to pull out like my non-magic rapier. Be like,
Oh, we'll wiggle it around and light it on fire. That's a great idea. It'll
no,
dry you in no
what-
time, Dagmar.
well, I mean, we could use the flaming one, I guess, too. But
Oh. You have more than one rapier. Sorry.
I do now, apparently.
That's
does-
cool.
And of course, Visericus is the kind of person who would cast heat metal on a normal rapier
Instead of
rather
using
than
the
ignite the
fire.
flaming rapier.
Yeah. Only one of those goes red hot. The other one's just fire.
Some sort of hair drying effect, right?
Yeah.
Hot breeze.
If you just whip it around really fast, then yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, I guess.
Like
That's fair.
rapiers are kind of wobbly, right?
Silverfin is dying of thirst. I am a little concerned about it.
We should go.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go see Lord the Cat if we can.
Okay. Yes, you are able to make your way back. You request an audience with Lord Lucannon. It is granted fairly quickly.
What are you wearing today?
You are...
Same stuff as last time? Or
Sad. He's wearing
fancy.
sad.
yeah, he is wearing sad clothing.
He's wearing the royal sad
Yeah,
cape today.
it's
Oh my
blue.
god, he looks like he's from Hot Topic, and
But you also notice now he seems to actually have teardrops of ice running down one of his cheeks.
He's a winter allergic. So dramatic.
But he actually removes, you actually see him wipe them off as you come in. And you are escorted there by Knight Commander Gugunak, who
how's he
yeah,
looking today?
seems pleased.
Yeah, how's
you
he doing?
know, he says, as he meets you, he says, friends, I'm here to take you to see the Lord. I must ask, has there been any progress on this individual who might be creating copies of people?
we are chasing leads.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, if that's what you're here to speak to the Lord about, then would you permit me to stay and listen?
I vote
Right.
yes. I like this man.
If he does, then yeah, I mean, don't know if you...
The Knight Commander says, I am not a man, but I do like the sentiment. Thank you.
Zergus?
Well, quick huddle team.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Knight Commander. We'll be back momentarily.
Of course.
Thank you. Team, what if he's a copy?
Yeah. What if he's a spy of a hag?
What if they're all copies?
They could be.
Is you a copy?
Am I
Do we have a
a
way of detecting if they're a copy?
The body
I don't know.
snatchers have reached the FeyWild.
Yeah.
Look, I can't.
Maybe we're all made of
can't-
cake.
I can't dispel this magic. It's too high level. I can't do it. So really, there's no way of knowing, and we don't know these people well enough to be able to tell the difference between them and a copy. I don't know how
Nice.
many copies she can make.
Can
Hmm.
Dagmar
Hey.
glance
Male hag.
subtly towards our good friend and squint at him and do an insight check?
How would you know what he looked like before, Dagmar?
I'm the only one who picked that he was shifty.
He's a frog. He's fine.
Give me
He's
an
a
insight
copy,
check
I
from
know. He
Dagmar.
might look
No, Dax is
nervous.
talking about the clone.
Yeah.
Pick the clone first. That's true.
Oh no, there's a 6. I see a frog.
Cool. Is definitely very interested in,
Definitely a
and
frog.
trying to overhear what you're saying. And,
I mean, he could have been a clone from
yeah.
when we met him. So
But he's making no pretense of not trying to overhear what you're saying.
yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
subtle.
if he's pretending, he's not very good at it.
That's a good
Fair.
point. That's a good point.
All right. Good chat, team. Break. And so we'll go back to our positions. Knight Commander, there may be a security issue here.
Oh, how so?
Well, what if you're a copy?
What if I... How dare you, sir? I mean... Oh, yes, I can see where you're coming from, but... Oh, what an accusation.
But that's what a copy said.
Well... Is this something that you suspect?
Not at this time. You have acted with nothing but honor and dignity towards us, and you've treated us well. However...
I mean, if
The-
I may
the-
interject, Vatericus,
Hmm.
we could always do a big truth magic zone And we can all go around the circle and say, I am not a copy. Or something.
Yeah, and there's a game that if it comes to somebody and they say the same word that someone else did, then you take a drink.
We can do that later.
Is this entirely necessary? The Lord is waiting for us.
But if
Yeah,
the
but
Lord's a copy.
the problem is the more
Maybe the
people
Lord
who,
could be a part of it.
yeah, who know about this, the more opportunity for information to leak there is.
And it gets kind of dangerous if you know about it.
Well,
Hmm.
I believe I'm starting to understand your position. I can give you my assurance as Knight Commander of Rathkronen, as well as Royal Guard to... David checks his notes again. Where to go? Come along, David, the world is waiting. Yes, and as Captain of the Royal Guard for Her Royal Highness Bragunakor the Sixth, rightful Queen of the Evermoist Myriad, that I am not a clone. A clone, a copy. He doesn't say clone, he says copy. That was just David being silly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What if you also gave us pond privileges?
What?
Do you blackmailing?
Blackmailing, I am asking.
We don't need pond privileges. We're fine.
That would be most improper and was well beyond my power and authority to grant, I'm afraid. I would have to
Emma,
consult.
do you want to bathe in frog water?
Yeah.
Is he legit?
Insight check?
Let's go. That's a shame. That is a third. Well, that's not bad. 13 total.
Seems legit, yeah.
Okay.
All right, we gotta go see the Lord. Like, we gotta get this
Yeah.
movie.
All right. Well, fine. I don't know why I care quite this much. Internal politics are for you guys. We are merely visitors. So let's go.
Yes, I see. Well, perhaps I should... If it would allay your fears, I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say, but I will say that the Queen and I and the rest of our tribe are here at Rathkronen as refugees. This is not our home. We've been granted asylum here by Lord Lucanen and Lady Thundriel. The incident that caused us to flee our home was a war that started when the ambassador from another Bullywug tribe stole a precious relic of ours and made no appearance of attempting to hide the fact. When our queen made accusations, the leader of the Broadbelly host denied that any such thing had happened, and indeed even their ambassador said no such thing was possible. But they took a great offense. War began, and I'm afraid our tribe, we're all that left. We're all that is left. We're forced to flee, grab what tadpoles we could, and made our way here. But
Bloody awful.
I now fear that perhaps the ambassador of the Broadbelly host had been copied, if such a thing is possible, and someone else started this war. If so,
Right.
If that is the case, I would very much like to be part of your conversation and to hear of your findings.
Seems fair enough. Can I ask a question?
Oh, of course, of course.
What was the relic?
It was the Club of Flebenau, with which he slew the leader of the Mottlebacks and freed our people many generations ago.
Oh, I see. cultural artifact.
Indeed. Also a powerful weapon.
Oh,
Intriguing.
good to know. Well, let's.
All right.
If there's a hag out there making copy, what's his not yelling? There's a hag out there making copies. Then I feel like we need to get to the bottom of this.
A hag? Oh, how
Oh,
frightful.
I didn't mention that yet.
Spoiler
No,
alert.
quick, we must attend.
Let's go see the cat.
Yeah. As you walk in, you see Lord Lucannon seems a bit impatient at this point and says, well, what do you have today?
Terracus.
Well, my lord,
The answer's not for Terracus. He's going to explain it.
I will explain that we've managed to make contact with the real Silverfin, who is described being taken by what we take to be a hag, and copied, and he is now somewhere with rocks and cliffs and
No water.
yes, dying of thirst. So time is somewhat of the essence to recover our man and potentially get more information about what exactly is going on.
Do you know of any old? He said. What did he say exactly? Is April asking?
He said hideous.
Hideous. That's it. Hideous. Crone-like hag. Are you aware of any?
Persuasion from Vitericus with advantage for Orsi's assistance.
And that's fine. That's still a 16.
Do a dance while you do it next time.
Well, Cloak of Billowing is going ever so slightly,
Oh,
Hello,
beautiful.
my baby. Hello, my darling.
producing a little bit of drama.
It is kind of windy up here anyway, though, so
Mhm.
it's not really all that impressive. I'm sorry.
Can I make it billow against the wind?
Yeah, Lucannon is
Oh,
sure.
absolutely
Yeah,
out
perfect.
fancying you.
Lord Lucannon does seem to notice that and raise an eyebrow for a moment and then look back at you and say, hags. I'm aware of such creatures. I was not aware of one near our tree. These rocks, these cliffs, I imagine that would be the basalt columns. It's a large area, though. I'm not sure where a hag would live among such a space. But you have means of locating where this hag's lair might be.
Yes and no. So I do have a spell that can locate objects. We did ask Silverfin if he did still have his amulet, his holy amulet with him, and he does. So I can track that, but it only works within a certain amount of, distance.
I see. Knight Commander, what's your take on this? And Garuganak says, my lord, I believe these people. I feel that someone is trying to start a war between Rathkrunen and whatever place these people have come from. I do not know why, but I think you will understand when I say that I fear that the war that began between the Evermoist Myriad and the Broadbelly host might have been sparked by the same individual. And if so, it was our oversight that has allowed this travesty to continue. And if so, then I would ask that you allow me to accompany our new friends here and help them assist them in completing this task and finding the truth of this and, if possible, ridding us of this foul creature.
Party member, yeah.
And Lord Lucannon says, Well, Knight Commander, if you are prepared to vouch for these individuals and stake your reputation and perhaps your life on it, then this would be acceptable. But you four understand that as much as I do want to get to the truth of this, my first priority remains the life of my sister. And if you defeat a creature such as this hag before finding a way to cure her, then I will hold you partly responsible if she dies.
Is she, by the way?
She is nearby. She is unconscious. Her body fights the poison on a daily basis. We fear that she could go at any moment, but she holds on.
Your Majesty, our friend Mozart here is a cleric on our plane. He can perhaps detect what type of poison is afflicting her. Perhaps a specific plant or something might help us pinpoint the area where this creature lives.
A cleric. One of your Valdran gods, then?
Yes, at Mozart.
Aye, he's Bruin Lark. He's
Yes, I have heard of him.
But look, he's one for them being good times, and you can't have good times if you lost your sister. So I think I feel like he'd want to help.
Give me a persuasion check, please, Morzod.
Oh boy.
With advantage, because again, Orsi's been helping with this.
Okay, persuasion.
He's helpful in his own way.
How do I roll? There it is, with advantage. Roll and dip. That is a 20.
Cool. And he says, we have a certain distrust of your gods here, ever since the cataclysm that nearly destroyed your world and wrought ruin on ours as well. But
It didn't go very well for them gods either.
How so?
Well, as far as we make out, it was a big mess for everyone. Sort of fear and suffering on everyone's side. Doesn't look good what we found out.
Yes. Yes, well, I do not... As I said, I do not trust the gods, but you seem to me...
You don't have to.
You seem to me that your heart might be in the right place. So, very well, I will allow you to inspect my sister, but I will accompany you.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way. No.
As will you, Knight Commander. And Gorgonuk says, "Oh, of course, of course."
Alright, so we're gonna go and visit the sister.
Yeah, and he says,
See if we can find out what this poison is.
Yeah. And he leads you to another part of the tree, which is very much enclosed. There are branches and leaves. The leaves of this tree aren't scaled with the tree itself. They are large gum leaves, but they're only like a couple of feet long. They're not, if they were truly to the scale of this tree, they'd be several meters long. But so this place where he leads you to is almost has a quality of a chapel to it, in that there are limbs, short branches bowed over, and inside there is a platform, a plinth, which has, and it's being lit by more of this fairy light that you've been seeing all about this place, these little motes of floating light. And there is a autumn eladrin lying on this plinth.
Oh, should be wearing her leggings and everything.
And yeah, so she has orange skin. Her hair is red, but with gold streaks in it. She's got dark green eyes.
That should be lovely.
She's basically lying in state with her eyes closed. Her features are, quite fine, but she does have a very distinct scar down one side of her face, which is so pronounced that part of her mouth is actually permanently open. You'd think she'd probably speak with a lisp. But it also looks like it's an old scar. It's not related to this recent injury, but she is. As you get closer, you can see her eyes, although they are the deep green, around the edges, you can see a sort of greenish black tone about them. And you can see there's sort of a greenish black coloration to the veins and arteries in her throat. And she's completely unconscious. And Lord Lucannon, who's now speaking very softly, as if he's just stepped into a church, says, we found her unconscious like this. The duplicate of your friend had plunged a poisoned stiletto into her arm while she had turned from him. I suspect that most mortal creatures would have died instantly, but she fights on. We have tried to remove the poison from her body, but it keeps coming back, and we have no solutions.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna try my best to see if I can figure out what it is. But yeah, the fellow he said it was special, that it kept coming back, didn't he, Viddy?
Yes, he said it was dual action in some way, shape, or form. That might be it. It might be self sort of replicating. That's not a word Vitericus would know. Self-reproducing.
It's one Morzard might know.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Actually, that's something. Yeah, Mozart knows words now.
Yeah, Monzod's just going to start talking about enzymes and we're all going to freak out.
Like, what the
Cells.
actual? Anyway. So Mozart is sort of, you can tell that he's thinking, he's remembering something and sort of mouthing some words to himself. And he has his tankard, which appears to never have left his person. It's still on him. And he's got it in his hand with his other hand over the top of the, keeping something out of the tankard. Like, you know, when you're in a club and you hold your drink with your hand over it so that nobody can roofie you. He's doing that. So I'm gonna go ahead and cast the Detect Poison and Disease.
Mm-hmm.
Which, do I roll something for
Okay.
it?
What's the spell description say?
For the duration, you can sense the presence and locations of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of you. You also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case. And then there's a list of things that would block it, but which are not.
Cool. Okay. You immediately detect that this is no ordinary poison. The poison itself is it's a homebrew one, which I've called Strife Poison.
I like how Discord is actually cutting you out, so I'm only hearing about half of this.
Okay. Is that happening for the rest of you too?
A little bit.
Okay.
But, yeah.
All right. Well, the poison itself is called Strife. I've called it Strife Poison. It's my homebrew.
Strife poison.
Yeah.
Yeah, Strife Poison.
And yeah, so basically it's a con save, a very high DC. If you fail, then you become unconscious and take con damage. And every day you make a con save and you take more damage, more con damage if you roll very low. But you cannot recover from this poison naturally. Your body cannot fight it. It can only be removed by magical means, such as a remove poison spell or that sort of thing. But this spell will also tell you, Morzod, that there is another element to this poison that you believe. Look, give me a
Medicine?
I'll let you choose medicine, arcana, or your spellcasting ability, which is charisma. I think. No, it's not. It's wisdom.
It's wisdom.
It's
He's a cleric,
wisdom.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna roll medicine because I got a +6 in it.
Cool. Nice.
Do I get an advantage because I'm already doing the detect poison?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Such a kind dungeon master.
Yeah, he's
Presents
alright.
for Morsey.
Okay, 20.
20. Okay.
Hey.
You think that this poison came with a curse, and the curse is what restores the poison, and that when the poison is removed, the curse restores the poison after 1d4 hours.
Ooh.
And so you will need to remove the poison and then remove the curse before the poison comes back.
Alright, so Morzod is sort of squinting at our lady, still got his hand over the top of his tankard. He goes, "Ooh, that's nasty. That's rotten, that is." So it's, and he describes the poison and sort of how she's going to need it healed off her. And he goes, but then it's got this other nasty sting in a tail. It's curses. Yeah, it's a curse. But there's magic in there too. And it's gonna, yeah, the reason she hadn't been able to cure it off her is because it makes it come back. It's like being cursed to be poisoned.
So Lord Lucannon looks at the Knight Commander and looks at you and then says, are you
That's rotten. Our fella wouldn't know how to do that. Oof.
are you able to cure her then?
Well, I can do the curie bit, but I don't know about pulling a curse off.
I see.
Not
We
very. Was he?
I mean, there are spells that could do it, but I don't know them.
Have you got any lads that are good at taking curses off? Saying that to the ladron.
and he says, not here. I might be able to. I believe I can call in a favor and have someone.
She's strong. She can keep fighting.
Yes.
She's got time. Now
I mean-
but she's got time.
Morzod, I think you might be able to.
I don't know if I could do them both at once, though. Is the problem.
Well,
Thinking
I mean,
about
if
it.
someone else could cure the poison, you could cure the curse, or if someone else
That's-
cures the curse, you could cure the poison.
Yeah. I mean, I could do my best.
Because this is April talking. I know that remove curse is
Yeah,
a
I do have
cleric
reverse
spell.
curse, and
Yeah.
and it is within the level that I can actually get, even though I'm a dodgy level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably take it off, but I mean, it's a big one.
It says, if it's a matter of material components or anything, I will pay. I will reward you for if you are able to save my sister. Every day there is a chance she might pass away, and I do not think I could live in a world where I had to rule this place on my own.
All right. Well, I mean, what do we want to do? Because we got two people just running out of time.
I mean, if you have the ability, could you cure the sister now?
I'd have to stop and think about it, but I could remember how.
I mean,
But
right now you're the best shot she has at surviving.
Yeah. Is someone else gonna take care of the poison?
He says, I know we have someone here who could remove the poison. We weren't sure it succeeded earlier because it kept coming back.
Because it kept coming
yeah.
back. 'Cause there's a curse. Yeah.
That's right.
Hey. Look, I'll need to sit down and have a think, but I can do it. I can do it.
All right. How long do you need?
It's the short break, isn't it, to swap spells?
No, it's a long
Yeah,
rest.
long.
Yeah,
Oh, great.
sadly.
Yeah, rip. Look,
Looks like we won't be able to do it until tomorrow, perhaps.
This is-
yeah. Well,
I understand. Hopefully she'll survive one more day.
I suppose if Morzod goes and has himself a really solid sleep, then they could think about trying to locate where fella is, where Silverfish Silverfish?
Old mate.
Silverfin.
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 Look,
Silverfin. I just think
will-
he's got the little pinchy things.
I will say, I think the rules regarding long rests are that the first 2-3 hours of it or so are, the first 2 hours of your 8 hours are you, preparing your spells. So I will say that, I think I'm going to make a ruling that because it's a bit different for clerics anyway, because there's a kind of, it's not like they're very carefully reading a book and memorizing and that sort of thing. I'm going to say that Morzod can
He has
swap
to remember
out.
how it feels.
Yeah, Morzod can swap out half of Morzod's known spells. Yeah,
Alright,
up to
well,
half
I only need to
Yeah.
swap one anyway, so that's cool.
during a short rest.
Yeah. Okay. Because he's just got to remember what it feels like to do the curse removing.
This is part
thing.
because I know how hard it is to decide what spells to plan in
It's hard.
advance. Yeah.
Yeah.
And whereas I like the idea of the wizard having to, really be that kind of calculating,
Yeah.
planning person, I feel like the cleric is more of a, oh no, somebody needs help. What do I do?
By my gut, kind
Yeah,
of.
never
thing
give me a
anyway.
redo. I deserve it. I should learn it. I gotta read a book. I should know.
Well, you take notes and stuff. You're actually clever about these things. More
All right.
So
squinting into the middle distance and trying
So
to
shall
remember that
we-
day at Sunday school.
I mean, I can give you a hand, Morzod. I can sit down with you and we can go over some spells together.
Yeah. We could. Yeah. Do the sitting in spells thing.
we're coming up to our finish time. I feel like it would be good to resolve this before we finish for the night. So let's say Morzod takes an hour or so, Orsi helps.
I do the thing. Yeah.
After which Morzod now has access to the remove curse
Yep.
spell.
He's sort of remembering what kind of vibes to exude.
And when you return, you see that another Eladrin has been called. This is a summer. No, this is a spring Eladrin. No, it is a summer Eladrin. Sorry, I keep getting them mixed up. It is a summer Eladrin, and
So who's wearing double pluggers and stubbies?
well, she's actually she's a bit more practically dressed than the other Eladrin you've seen around here. That they tend to dress very prettily in accordance with their season. This one, she is a summer Eladrin, but she's not wearing summer themed clothes. She just seems to be wearing it. It looks like they're sort of tight fitting riding clothes, like a horse. Like riding a horse or something like that. And if you have a quick conversation with her, you'll find that she's actually the master of the Wyverns. She handles the.
She's the rider.
Yep, she's not the only one, but she's in charge of them. And when you say that you're ready, she will cast Cure Poison, and you see the black and green blemishes or recede, but she does still she doesn't wake up, and then it comes down to Morzod.
Okay, cool. Well, there's
We got this,
not
Morzod.
actually there's not actually any roll on this one.
Yeah, it just works.
It just works. So after the poison comes off and it shrinks back, Morzod, he's been kind of it looks like there's a song stuck in his head because he's been just kind of rhythmically sort of moving very subtly, but it's sort of like he's remembering a shanty kind of thing. As the poison recedes and he's sort of squinting at this lady, he's definitely not seeing just the Eladrin that's sick, and then he just sort of mutters under his breath, off you go and stay out. And that's the curse going.
Cool. So there's a moment of utter silence in this space as you all stare at this prone figure, and then her eyes flicker open, and you see, yes, you probably now see that they are deep green eyes. How did you see them while they were closed? She was unconscious.
She was doing that eye rolly back thing before.
Fluttering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, you now see her eyes, and she looks around, looks up, and sees Lord Lucannon, who immediately moves forward and looks down, and he says, Thunnery. And she says, Lukey, what happened? And he says, something terrible, but it's okay now. And with that, you can see, as you look at him, you can see that his hair that has been, pure white, you actually start to see a few threads of green have appeared. And that's where we're going to end today's session, unless Doug has anything he wants to leave us with.
I'm
Yeah,
not
gonna
going
kiss.
to kiss the lady. I'm afraid.
Yeah.
You gonna kiss Mozart?
Someone's
I
gonna-
will give
someone's
her a
gonna
hearty
kiss.
pat on the back.
Yeah, bum
that's
pat.
fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is where we're leaving this week's session. We will return next week as one of the problems of Rathcrunan has been resolved, but there's more to be done yet. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in a week.